And we are back with the third part of the Pandora Secrets Revealed, the Door of Mystery video that was chosen by the MGI community. And it's a good one, I think, because I know a lot of you have been wondering about this. When you go into Redline, you drop down here and are forced into the puzzle. You can't get back up there unless you build your way back up, but it doesn't matter because there's no reason to go back up there. But this area, even though it looks empty, Toucan Boy found this one. There's a couple of holes in the floor, but one of these holes goes down a considerable way, and it goes into a dungeon-looking room with a chest, and in the chest is diamond number 15. Oh yeah. So all we have to do is go back up. Not too difficult, but very sneaky. So we go back up, and the other way I did this, wired all that redstone in the main control room, is because that way you had to complete all the puzzles. You couldn't just bust doors down in order to finish them. You had to actually finish the puzzle before you and activate all the right switches in order to actually say that it was completed. And in all honesty, the only switch you have to flip is the Mossly Cobblestone one, because these ones, if you just... The idea was, yeah, you can push the carts, but if you just run around and drop them, the tunnels themselves were still confusing enough so that it didn't matter. Here's button 2. And if I went down in the basement, you'd see that they are actually getting activated. This is a troll here, because even though you can run right past this, if you actually push one, it goes into the lava below. Troll face. This one has to be activated, so obviously you can continue with the door, because this switches a troll. It switches the track, not the door. So we got to put a minecart here and get that one open. Here you go. And then the other one was this way. Whoops. So I could just put this down and walk it the other direction because they're connected. There was no switch for this. NeoCraft tried finding a switch for that and there wasn't. You just had to push it. And they didn't always make it all the time, so that was another mistake on my part. If your minecart didn't make it, oops. And that's why you need the Mossly Cobblestone door open, because you couldn't see it unless you actually looked through the windows in the door. So that was kind of a design, an interesting way of making that. The only way you could figure out which way it was is by actually looking through it. So we activated all 5 buttons. There's the story code 5, where the Irish guy tells you, you know, what the heck is going on with these weapons. I thought we were making resources for Pandora, but whatever. But this was basically designed just to be confusing, not difficult, no matter what way you did it. And these switches could be any configuration, but if you remember, there was an indicator on the rooftop of the power plant, and I forget what it was, but it showed you the way this is supposed to look once it's finished, because that's supposed to be up, down, down, up, something like that. So yeah, there was a code on the rooftop of the power plant that exploded. And as you can see now, the door is open, blue line is activated, and then we can do that because there's diamonds in there. The one thing that kills me is that one of the hardest diamonds to find, that was the most twisted, where you have to use the chest carts, or any minecart for that matter, was broken. I don't know what happened, but it didn't work, so you had to cheat to get it. But I'm going to show you that diamond in a minute. All we have to do in here is activate the 2 switches to open the bridge. This room took a long time to perfect. Here comes the water, here comes the bridge. Oh yeah. So that's that. Yeah, this room took a while. So, I'm going to go upstairs here and flip the other switch. These 2 switches, when turned, are what cause the door the green and orange line doors to be activated. Yeah, see, for some reason that doesn't work anymore. Oh yeah, it does. It was just not rendered. All this stuff really not necessary. I was going to do something with it down in the weapons testing room. It was originally going to be a redstone puzzle, but I didn't do it. I don't even need to do this because I'm just going to show it to you in the weapons testing room. You're supposed to send a cart there and then through control room B, and then you go down to the weapons testing room and flick the track switch. That's where I'm going to go now. And then you have to go up here again, which you can use the ladder because now the door is open to that room when you activate the third part of the bridge puzzle. And then you can send the other chest card down, and that opens the door to get the diamond, but the puzzle failed. So, sorry about that. Didn't work. So let's go down to the green line. And as you know, the switch that you needed to activate to open the door was the third one. That drops the cart down, and then when you flip this switch, it opens the door. This is the puzzle I'm talking about. When you sent the first chest cart, it was supposed to come around and go in here. I should have just made it so that it automatically flipped the track, but the problem is back here, for some reason the redstone torch did not light this track up, and I got kind of upset about that. But that's the way it goes. So the best way to do this is to just bust the door down. It's going to take about a minute to do this, but it's alright. I'm willing to wait if you are. But this was one of the more elusive diamonds, because it was a big convoluted puzzle, and some of the secrets in Pandora 2 are going to be even worse. They're going to be more refined though. I might actually give clues. So you go in here, it's complete darkness, but on a pedestal is another diamond. Oh yes. So that's that. Now we go in here, activate the third part of the bridge that completes the lower part. That over there too, where my crosshair is, that's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be covered up. But I failed. A couple of mistakes left over. No big D. And then once that's activated, you see the light, the torch is on over here, and then the door can be opened, because this door can't be opened until you flip the switch on the bridge. A lot of redstone circuitry down here too to make all this work, let me tell you. You can see as soon as I bust this open, it's all revealed to you. This was actually really complicated and confusing to make, because I had to make sure that there was an order to it. But all of this is connected in such a way that you have to first activate the switch in the weapons testing room to open the first door. You have to then activate the bridge switch to open the second door, and it also opens the door leading to the fourth switch, which activates the second part of the upper bridge. And that's the kind of technical stuff I had to deal with when designing this, is making sure that all the switches, you know, there was an order to how you had to do them logically, but there was also an order you had to do them in, because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. And most people were able to figure it out just by flipping switches, which was pretty much the way I designed it. This switch is here so that you couldn't go down the ladder and reach through the door and flip it prematurely, because you could always go down here when you enter the blue line room and just kind of reach through the window and hit it, so I had to hide it up the hallway there. Yeah, that's just access to, you know, more hidden stuff. That actually accesses the room where the sound plays, and I can actually I think I can show you that. Well, no, I'll do it when I get back up there. How did the sound work? The timing of the sound. I had to record the video of this happening, the stuff falling, and then I had to make a sound that would match that. When I flip this, you hear the click. That's the note block playing, and that completes the bridge. And then all you have to do is go up the ladder and run across. And the reason I'm going up here is to flip the switch for the next story code, because that also opens the orange line door. You can't get into that door until you flip the switch on the wall over here. But One thing I'm going to do quickly is, if I can, try to get into the bottom part of this, where I hid the sound mechanism. Maybe. Maybe not. But all it is a series of steps that the minecart takes. And every time you flip one of those bridge switches, the minecart drops down onto another detector rail. And then, yeah, I don't think this is where it was. Let me see if this one was opened up. Yes, this is where it is. Yeah, it's just a simple system of starting and stopping a detector rail. This is how I made all the sound work in this game. The minecart started here. When you flip the first switch to activate the first part of the bridge, the minecart was released and dropped over the detector rail, which played this note block. When this note block played, obviously I changed the sound file to the sound that I wanted to be played at that point. And then the minecart would go past, the sound would play, and it would stop here. When you flip the second bridge, it would do it again, play the next sound. It's the same sound for all four. And then finally, when the last switch was flipped, it would pass that one and just kind of stop there. So that's how that works. That's how the sound was made in Pandora. Simple system of starting and stopping and then playing a note block. Now I say simple, but some of you are like, man, Sorv, that's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well, here's the kind of things I had to deal with when I was designing it. Like, how can I make this work? And can that really do that? And the answer was usually yes. That's it. So go down the ladder. This room was a technical nightmare, though, but I think it was pretty awesome. I'm proud of it. So now we can go to Orange Line, and there is a diamond hidden in here that's pretty messed up. I'm going to show you where it is, but you have to cheat a little bit, because you have to actually ride a minecart into this place. And then you have to jump off. This minecart actually goes the wrong way, and I kind of screwed myself here. Because I made this so that it was hard to get back here, just because there's no reason to go back here. But if someone decided they did want to go back here, you would find a diamond. You just have to bust these down so I can get over there. Alright, this is how this worked. When the 3 was pressed, the first switch, this would flip, because right now it goes back to the retrieval, the cart return system. But when you flip switch number 3, as it is the first switch in the code, and then you sent a minecart, it would flip the track that I'm standing on right now, and it would send it to one of the pillars. I'm just breaking this down so I can get out easy. So this room was kind of tough to make, but all I had to do was keep linking it to more mine track. That's why there are different levels, and it kind of looks cool like that. You can tell it's you know, Valve inspired. So when this was flipped, the cart would go this way instead, and it would ride up this track to the first one. When the 2 was flipped, which was the next one in the sequence, this one would change. So then the minecart would skip this one and go around to this track. When the 5 was flipped, I think this track was changed, so that the cart would go through here and around this way and go up here. And this is where the fun really happened, because the next one was the 6. When the 6 was flipped, the track would change this to go this way instead of up there. And then finally, when the 1 was flipped, the final track was flipped to go up here, which would activate the last one. And that's how it worked. But one of these, if you were crawling around back here just to see how it worked, you would eventually discover that I found a cave up here while I was digging this out. And this is actually going the wrong way. I'm actually now following the redstone to the switchboard. It is possible to run around back there too, but no reason right now, because I want to show you where the diamond is. I think it's up here. Yeah, when I was up doing this, I discovered a cave on the highest most point. Anyone who's been up here knows that if you run around a little bit and just kind of look around, follow the glowstone blocks, you will eventually discover a diamond, or treasure chest with a diamond in it. Oh yeah, so there's 17 diamonds now. Technically 18, so we got 7 more to go. So we'll drop back down here, and the whole gist behind this room was to get the switch. You needed to have the switch in order to make your way over to the next area. Now, a couple of people said they cheated, and they just got into the minecart and put the next one on the track, and then made their way over. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. It is possible to skip this puzzle completely and just use your minecarts to jump across like this. And you put this one there, get in, put that one there, get in, that one goes there and get in, and you're across. Maintenance room 4 is open by default, so flipping the switch actually closes the door, but we have the switch. Also, if you saved cobblestone from the explosion in the Endorphina holding facility and made sticks out of the wood planks that you found along the way, you still couldn't get in or complete the puzzle early, because this switch has to be flipped in order for the puzzle to be considered complete fully. Let's get back across here. That was the only diamond in this area. Well hidden. So now that all of the bridges are flipped and everything's done, you could go through the surface access door. And that's what we're going to do now. Just put my switch on the wall, and as I activate these, and these could be activated at any time. A lot of redstone going on here, but when they're all activated, I'm going to show you going through here. Now that all of these conditions are satisfied and all the AND gates are switched to the off alignment, when you go up here and you look at the carts, they've all been sent downward. That one was satisfied, the lights are on, and this one is a chest cart. This one contains the gold block for the story code 8 when you get to Andronicus. That was pretty much the original intention. It was going to be a diamond, but I thought, no, I'll make that the gold block. I'll make it interesting. But I'm not going to collect that because there's no reason to. But that goes all the way up here and goes out into Andronicus. The reason I'm taking this path, actually no, I'm not going to go this way. I'll show you the other way, the way it was intended. But this is one of the ways to get to the next diamond. Another well-hidden gem. So all I have to do is flip the last switch that we found in Maintenance Room 4, and that will be sent on its way. And after all the redstone is satisfied, the door is open. Now, of course, this was not a mistake. This was a troll. There's plenty of minecarts available downstairs, but there isn't one up here, and that's on purpose, so troll face. So now we're ready to go to Andronicus. And we go through this interesting hallway of lots of redstone torches, most of which are not necessary. And we gotta stop right here. Oh, and it's raining. The reason we stop here is because even though you're running through all this and you see all the destruction, now we're outside, the rules have changed again. right here, we're going to cross over to the other track. We're going to go back this direction. Because you might think, hey, where does this other track go? Well, if you go back this way and you go into this hall, you find another diamond. Sweetness. Now technically that's not the next diamond, but in the next video I'm going to show you which one is.